Hello everyone, welcome back to another tutorial from sysadmin 102. In today's video, I will show you how to create a custom cron job for the dynamic DNS with Cloudflare. So I just recently switched to Cloudflare, and I run into issue when I download the DD client on the OPNSense and try to set up dynamic DNS, and it looked like it doesn't work. And when I look it up on Google, apparently since the last update it didn't work at all. So with that, I make a simple bash script that will update your dynamic DNS and push it to the Cloudflare server. And before I get started, I want to give a special thanks to Steve at Tech Otaku for the API script that I used to make this script for updating the dynamic IP. And also the script and the instruction on how to use this is available on GitHub as well. I'm not going to go over in depth, but I'm just going to walk you through how to use the script. For so a couple of requirements: you have to have a DNS record, a record, or the subdomain. Subdomain basically is the a record under your domain name within Cloudflare. If you don't have it, make sure you create it. And next, you will need a API token, and if you go to that link, it will show you how to create an API token. With that being said, here's some recommendation for the API token. So do not use your global API. It gives you a lot more permission than you should need it for the DNS dynamic IP address update. With that being said, the permission, you should set zone setting for read only, and for the zone it read only. Zone DNS, it should be have edit permissions, and for the zone resources, you should specify which zone it is. For me, it's gonna be under sysadmin102.org, but if you have multiple domain, make sure that you select a specific one that you want to use. You don't want to give it too much permission. All right, and next, zone ID. When you log in on Cloudflare, under overview and on the I think it's on the right side. Yeah, it's on the right side. Somewhere on the bottom, it will show you the zone ID. If you don't know how to find this zone ID, just follow the official guidance. They have step by step how to find the zone ID. DNS ID. Unfortunately, if you create it using the command line, it will give you the DNS ID after you created it. However, if you create it on the DNS record on Cloudflare, for whatever reason, it didn't really give you the DNS ID. However, you can run a script to figure out what is the DNS ID for the subdomain that you want to get the IP updated. All right, and with that, let's get started. So this script, it works for different system as long as it can run bash script. But for this video, I'll go over how to create the custom cron job on OPNSense. So all right, I'm gonna come back to OPNSense. So first thing first, we have to enable the edit edge on our OPNSense. I'm not recommended to leave it on all the time, but for the purpose of this tutorial, we're gonna enable a secure edit edge and permit root user login and permit password login. Terminal, and I'm gonna log in using edit edge, and then username gonna be root and add opsen.sysadmin102.org, or if you do not have a DNS at home, you can use an IP address. That would be fine as well. Alright, and we're gonna select option number A to open up a shell. Alright, next step, we're gonna using the cd command to change the directory to the user and home. Okay, and we're gonna use the correct command to copy, to clone the script to the folder. We use the ls command, and there it is, it's in there. Alright, for the actions Cloudflare DNS config D, we're gonna change the directory to the action.d. And again, we're gonna use the correct command to load the file. Alright, and you see it's the first one. After that, we're gonna restart the config D service. Alright, and we're gonna go back to the home folder, and we're gonna edit the script. So after you get all the token, API token, zone ID, and DNS ID, you would release this with these. Tab record most likely is gonna be a record, and the name, that's gonna be the host or the subdomain name for just the host name for the subdomain, whatever that you wanted to update. And before we do that, I'm gonna use another script to get the and I'm gonna use the get DNS ID to get the DNS ID for the zone that I want to use. I'm gonna copy that to a text file, and I'm gonna replace the token in zone ID with the actual one, and that will give me all the DNS listed under the domain. So this is the ID I needed for the openvpn.sysadmin102.org, and as you see, I set the IP address to the loopback IP address. So when we that's how we know the script's working. It would reflect my actual IP address after we set it up. Alright, and we're gonna go back to the other terminal, and we would change the token ID. And then zone ID. And DNS ID. And then the name, we're gonna change it to a DNS record name, which is OpenVPN. And when we're done, we're gonna click escape and enter and enter. Alright, and that should be it. We're gonna go back to OPNSense, and run OPNSense when you go to a Cron Job. I'm going to add a new job and release it with a star. So normally you would do it every 5 minutes or 1 hour, depending on your setting and your situation, like how often your IP address gonna change. Most likely just every hour or so would be the best. However, this one we're gonna set it to every minute, so that's why it's gonna update quicker. And then we're gonna select this under update Cloudflare IP, dynamic IP, and save it. Actually, update Cloudflare dynamic IP and the descriptions, and we should be able to save it now. And hit apply. And within a minute or two, your DNS record should show the IP address of the current home IP address, or whatever the address that you wanted to point it to. Go ahead and refresh it. And there we go, it reflects the new IP address instead of the loopback IP address. And that concluded today's tutorial. If you think the video was helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.